Morning traders, this is the S&P 500 futures pre-market prep video. We are looking at a nice rally overnight right here. Looks like maybe the Fed information has leaked out and there's going to be a nice short squeeze if we can get up over this level of 29.15. So if you like the analysis, I'm going to give you some spots to trade at. Please subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section. Even if you are going to tell me that I have the most complicated charts on YouTube, I appreciate anything that you want to share. So please subscribe if you like it, and please comment on the video if you like it or don't like it, I guess. Okay, let's do it. All right, good morning traders. 4:48 a.m. on 6/18/2019. This is the S&P 500 futures pre-market prep. I am looking at the weekly chart right at this moment. I'm going to try and keep it very simple since somebody complained that I had very complicated charts. We are currently profiling just this section right here. As you can see, we are moving up on the weekly. If I profile the rest of the volume, you can see that we're heading up into this volume cluster. And this is just a volume profile. This shows you where the most trades happen at price. This is volume at price. So horizontal volume. I'm going to expand that out so you can see we're coming up into this area. We just had this a stop right here at 2908, and I'll show you that on a smaller time frame. We're heading up into 2912. There's a little spot right here at 10, and then you have another one up at 14, and then it starts to get really thin in through here, so you can get a fast move. See all the wide bars on the chart? Those are created with big moves, and you got a big kind of gap right here, so it can move fast through here, and then 2940 way up at the top, and I'm not sure if that's in range. But to the downside, we've built a bunch of levels here. We've got 2892, which was the bottom, I think yesterday. You've got 2888 and 2884, and I'm also looking back here. Some of these line up perfectly with the full range. So let's look at it on the daily. This was the weekly chart. All we're doing is profiling different time frames and kind of seeing the patterns. That's all we're doing here. So on the daily chart, down here, hard to see, there's an ATR. It's at 32.7. Below that is the volume. That is vertical volume, and this is horizontal volume. Vertical volume, you can see how low the vertical volume's been. You can see overnight they came down, touched the 2888 area, and now they're bouncing for a nice big bounce up this morning. My guess is that the Fed information has leaked, whatever they're going to say tomorrow, and those people with the information are starting to position themselves accordingly, because we're now starting to break out of this range. So I've talked about this for the last week, that this is all potential energy. Look at all the volume in here. When it breaks out, half the people have to reverse. This gives you the big move. So the range for today is the ATR, right? From where we started, which was 5 points ago for me. The bottom is 2873, and 29.36. So that's where we're looking for our trades, between this range and this range. You can see that people are already having the reverse out of this. The short squeeze is happening and the market is taking off. And unfortunately, I got out of my trade too early because it's starting to pop. 29.12 right here, we're going to run into this resistance. And then again, 29.36, 29.40 up here. And you've got a couple little stops in here, 29.32 and 29.26. And you may have something right across the top right in here, 29.21. So what I'm doing, I'm looking at the volume profiles, looking where people are trading. I'm looking at the shapes of the candles, the opens, close, and the ends of the wicks. And so what we're expecting is bigger pullbacks off of these levels, maybe 1 or 2 points easily. Typically you'll get 2 points, but realize that you're going to have a short squeeze here to the upside, and the levels aren't going to work really great. They're going to be very tough to reverse because people are going to be forced to buy, and it's going to be, it's going to be hard to sell. You want to go with the trend, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that here in a second. So just realize, but these are the levels, and this is probably the stopping point, I would guess, up here, 29.40. Here's a complicated chart. Somebody said add a complicated chart. This is a complicated chart right here. This is the same chart. It just has scalping lines on it drawn in on the levels. So just showing you that. And then it's got range extensions. So 240 minute. Thought I would draw this in. You had this bull flag, and now you're breaking out of the bull flag and moving up to the high. Again, you had this level down here, and I'm going to show you on the 60 minute, but look at this thing go. So 60 minute. So if you watched the videos from yesterday, the prep video or the chart review video, you will know that I had this profile on in. I had this line across. I think this is the chart that somebody said was too complicated. I can't remember the exact words. The most complicated BS chart on YouTube. So you can see overnight, where did we trade to? We traded right into this red line. You got like an 8-point pullback off of this line right here. Yesterday, I had pointed out this 92 area. This is where we had traded down and then popped up for the trade. Last night, overnight, we traded down where? We traded down into the point of control here at 28.89, and that's where it took off from. I go over this on the chart review video and the prep video for yesterday. And then you had this level down here at 28.80. So all these red lines is the point of control. It's the highest level of volume in the cluster. And that was the highest volume in the cluster over here. And this is where it stopped and where it reversed, and now it's popping up. You're going to have another level, and I might not be able to get it here. Can't really get it. It's right here at the top, but it's this guy right here. It's 29.14 level, so you could bounce off the bottom of it right here at 13, but that's probably where we're kind of heading. You can see it's starting to pull back a little bit, and it went right into the gap at 29.12. And I think that's pretty much what we had looked at over here. 29.1250, right? And now we're pulling back off of it. And that's why I called that level, by the way, 29.12, because there it is. So the bigger time frame on the daily, you just saw it with your own eyes, 29.12. You're getting a pullback right off of the control right here. That's why I have this big, ugly, complicated volume profile here, is because it's going to tell me where the other people are trading, and now we're getting the pullback off of it. And you would already be 2 points in the money if you would have took that trade. So that's how that works. I had drawn these 60-minute levels because we were stuck in a trading range and we really weren't breaking out. Another thing about this chart right here is, so bull flag right here, we've broken out, and what they want to do is they want to push it up over this structure, right? And then I'll show you on the delta, they're going to want to sell this back, and they're going to use this level, the top of this structure right here, to keep buyers in place, right? So when you break structure, like this level right here, buyers will come in right at this level, and they will support the market and try and go with the trend. And these buyers pre-market know that, and so that's why they want to get up above certain structure, because when they start to sell back all their extra inventory, they want to be able to use something as a backstop that'll bring buyers in, that'll buy their inventory, and then support the market and keep on going up. So that's the reason why they break structure and they try and run it to the top. So you can see better. Here's the intraday chart. Only difference here, these are my scalping lines. This is where I take scalps off these blue lines, and I put those in the video for you to use yourself. Use them as clean lines when the first time you visit them. Of course, it didn't look like it worked overnight here because it seems to be in rally mode, but you can see like up here when first time it touched this, you get a pullback off of it. Tried to do something right here, but failed. So what happens on really strong days, like it looks like this today, see how this thing's starting to reject and you're getting your move back. A lot of times on very strong days, it goes through the level and we'll find support on the back side of it and then continue on, kind of like how this came up and then it found support on the back side of it and tried to trade away from it. A lot of times they push it. They know these levels too. They can see them. I can see them. They're based off of volume. They'll push them through because they know on the other side it'll become support, and then they'll use it as a backboard and use it to launch. So here's the delta. You can see they're buying heavily. They've added, since down here, this was at a negative 3,000. They've added 6,000 contracts that they've purchased. And so basically they'll want to give those contracts back and they'll use this structure as support. When it comes back, buyers will get interested down here. Let me see if I can quickly add a little range profile. So there's the high volume area down here, so it'll come back, sell back down into the high volume area and use support. So it may just keep on going. Right now they're in a squeeze. So what happens is if somebody sold to go short down here and they get caught in this thing and they added a contract here and they're still offsides, what they do is they start selling more when it gets up here to another level, and then as soon as it gets back enough that they lower their cost basis enough, right, by selling enough that it gets to a spot where they can get even out of the market, and they buy back all the contracts that they sold in order to get out of the market, break even, and that creates the fuel for the next move. And that's what you're seeing here. It's called a short squeeze, right? And they short squeeze those people. They keep on selling until the market gets down to a point where they break even, and then they buy it all back, and that gives it the fuel that pops it. It's the short squeeze. And that's why you'll see these giant bars that I can't really do. You'll see these giant bars on the breakouts when they go above levels and stuff like that. That's basically everybody reversing their positions. And so you can see the scalp lines given some retraction right here. Let's just take a quick look at it and see. So you usually look for a point of rejection 11, 1025, so almost a point there. Like I said, it's real strong and it's early morning. You do this during the day. So you can see this level right up here, and then I was talking there was a level. Let's see if I can find it for you. Right here. So there's a level right up there at 14, and it's marked off on the scalp level. So my guess is that they want to try and get above this 14 area before pre-market, but we'll see what happens. So this chart might be complicated to some people. This is just marking off 100% range extensions. So generally I'm looking for like a swing or something like that, and then there's another swing, and then from swing to swing I put a Fibonacci with just a 50% retrace on it, and see how that kind of, you can draw a line right there, right, and it kind of shows that level. And if you draw all the way across, right, there's some symmetry to it, right? A lot of things trading above and below right on that line. And this is the same thing. And then if I go up here and I add that on top of that one, right, it's a 100% range extension of this range, and each one of these is a 100% range extension of the little ranges. And you can see when they popped it up, it went up to 100% range extension, sold back down, sold back down to the level, and now they just broke it out. And where'd they go? 100% range extension right up here. And now it might come back and find support right across here, and they'll do it again. And so hopefully that's not complicated. But it just happens to play over and over again on our way up. That it'll keep on extending. And if I take this guy, I bet that he'll line up fairly good with this over here. So you can see across the bottom, you can see the trading on both sides of the line right there. And if pull it over, doesn't quite reach the bottom or anything, but that's the range extensions. It's not that complicated. I hope not. If you have any questions, please let me know. Be happy to answer any questions that you have. Again, I don't think we're going down today. It looks like the squeeze is on. We just hit that 12 level, pulling back off the 12 level right now. Next big level is 40. There's a little something right here at 37. You've got some little levels in here. They're just not going to work as well. You have a big gap right here. Price can move very fast through these thin areas. You do have a level here at 26.75, and I really kind of think that this is 29.2150, and then this is called profiling. We're just going to pull this over. We're going to look at the last couple bars right here. So this kind of changed perspective. See how thin it is through here, with your big volume sitting up here, 29.49.75, 29.39, 29 20 and 29, 21, 75. That's right across the top. I like that one. It's right across the top of the candle. And so you can see that like 12 just kind of disappears when you pull it back. But there's just a tiny, tiny, tiny. Oop, didn't mean to move that. There's like a tiny, tiny little nub right here when you just profile those. But as soon as you pull it across, you can see that it starts to add all the volume right there, right? And it kind of gets extended out when you pull it all the way across, and then you can see it a little bit easier. So, okay, good luck, guys. Wish you luck in your trading today. Pay attention to the levels. Use the scalping levels as I showed you on the reverse sides, and I'll see you for the chart review